Okay, welcome to tutorial number 3 for Pong. What we want to do in this tutorial is talk about increasing the speed of the ball as gameplay progresses, and also how we win and lose. Now in the example game, this one we have right here, we have these two sprites, these two buttons, which are start round and new game. New game is going to reset our scores, and start round is going to actually start the round. Who would have thought? Okay. I'm not going to go through exactly how to make most of these things because we've covered it in other projects. If we want to look inside of this thing and put in some of these elements, we absolutely can. But I'm going to stick a lot more simple for our tutorials on exactly how to have a win and loss coded and also have the speed increase or decrease. So we're going to pick up exactly where we left off on our other project. We should understand what all this code means in here. And everything that we've done from tutorial number 1 and tutorial number 2. Alright, so our ball direction we don't need anymore. That was good to have for coding our ball direction. So we're going to get rid of that and just have a regular screen right here. Alright, so we'll start off with increasing the speed. So we'll make a variable called ball speed. Alright, so in the beginning I think 5 was a pretty good number. We will set our ball speed to 5. And the amount of steps that we're moving will move the amount of ball speed steps. Alright, so we'll start at 5 and it'll be 5 to start. Now what we'll do is we'll just have this increase by an amount of, we'll say 1, or you can make it any amount that you want, every time we hit either our left or right paddle. So we'll say change our ball speed by 1, and we'll duplicate that and put that right down here. All right, let's see how that goes. All right, so it's definitely picking up speed here. It's moving all over the place. All right, and you can see the glitchiness that's happening right now because we don't have anything coded for a score to happen when the ball goes behind the paddle. Right? So our speed is good, and just to make sure we're right, in the beginning it does reset back to 5, which is perfect. All right. So again, like our ball direction variable, we don't need to see it during gameplay, so that can absolutely go away. All right. As I mentioned before, we could put in these fancy buttons that do start round and new game. What I actually did for these were broadcasts. So when I go to start round, I see our variables go away, the actual buttons go away, and until a point is awarded, everything will show back up, right? And of course, new game is going to take us to the same screen. It's just going to reset our scores back to nothing. So you could do that with broadcast commands if you wanted to. It's more time intensive than it is technically intensive, but we're just going to stick a lot more basic here for our tutorial on this. All right, so we're going to say whenever the ball goes to an X position that's greater than a certain amount, meaning it's touching this side of the screen over here, or this side of the screen over here, then we're going to award a point, or not even going to award a point, we're just going to stop the game and say right side wins or left side wins. All right, so we'll just do those right now by adding in 2 sprites that are left side wins and right side wins. All right, so we'll go to paint, we'll add a new one, and we'll make it just that. Call this one left win, and we'll duplicate that, and we'll have right side wins. Okay, so we have our left side wins, right side wins, and we'll probably put this one right. These ones are going to want to be right on top of each other. Alright, so we're going to have these things hide and show at certain times. So we will go in here to our code, and we're actually going to do some broadcasts for these. We'll say left side shows up or right side shows up. Oh, I think I forgot this. Left win and right win. All right, so we're going to say for when I receive, we'll say right win. We're going to have this thing show. And then we'll also say when I receive this, we're going to have this thing hide. All right, for our left win, we'll do the same thing. When this is clicked, we're going to hide. Then we're going to have this thing show when I received left win. Alright, so these things should hide in the beginning of the game, and they're going to show up when we broadcast left win and right win. Alright, so under our ball, we'll actually put in a new script of code, and we're just going to have this thing broadcast, and we want it to stop everything when our ball gets to a certain position over on either the right hand side of the screen or left hand side of the screen. Alright, so let's just see exactly how far these things are going. Alright, so this goes to our X position is 243. So we'll actually say when we're greater than, we'll back this off a little bit. We want to say when the ball is about right here. So we'll say even 230. Right? When our ball is at 230 for our extreme position, then let's trigger the end of this game. So we'll say forever if our X position is ever going to be greater than, what was that number, 230? Then we want to trigger, we'll say our, let's see, if that's going to be over here, that means our left side is going to win. So we'll broadcast left win, and we're also going to stop everything. All right, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. If our X position is ever less than, right, over here, if our ball is ever less than negative 230, then we're going to want to broadcast right win, and we're also going to stop everything in there. All right, left side wins, and if we bounce this off, right side wins. Okay, again, pretty basic, pretty easy to do. If we wanted to have point values, of course, we would have to put in other variables for left scores and right scores, so we can actually keep track as we're going along. This is a much easier way of doing it, of course, but maybe not as cool of an element of the game as, you know, if we wanted to play to 5 or play to 10 or whatever it is from here.